Hey guys, so I'm back with another video, and in this video we are going to see how can we implement login flow in .NET MAUI app. So this is the flow we are going to implement. So currently I'm logged in and I have this profile page, and if I go to this logout page, now I can see this login page and I cannot go back because there is no option, and I cannot see tabs or flyout menu. I cannot see anything because on login page we can just see login, and when we click on login page, then we have this home page, we have these tab bars, we have this flyout menu. And now I'm logged in. If I close this app and if I open this app again, then it will check the authentication state and then it will redirect me to the main home page because I am logged in. Let's see how it will behave if I am logged out and then I close the app and I'm trying to open the app again. So this time it will check the authentication state and it will simply redirect me to the login page because you remember I logged out. So this is the thing we are going to implement in this video. So when we say login flow, it means in our app when we are opening it for the first time, and if we have some protected screens, protected pages. So protected means user can see those screens only if he or she is already logged in. If our app had some login functionality and some protected pages, then we need to implement this login flow. So when user comes for our app for the first time, so definitely he was not logged in, so our logic, it will display the login screen, and when user fills the credentials and login, then user will be redirected to the main screen, maybe home screen or dashboard or whatever we call it, for the first screen after login. And when we close the app or come out of the app, and when we open the app again, at that time the user is already logged in. So this time our logic should not open that login page, it should open the main page, the home page or dashboard page, because user is already logged in. So that is what we are going to implement in this video. I have created a new .NET MAUI project and I'm running it for the first time. So I have not done anything in this app. We have two approaches for this. First thing is we can always open the login page on app startup. So when app runs, we will open login page, and when login page is coming, then we will check if user is logged in or not. If user is logged in already, we will simply redirect user from there to home screen. Or we have different approach. In that approach we can have a kind of maybe our loading screen. So the default opening screen would be that login screen, and from that login screen we will check the authentication state, if user is logged in or not. If user is not logged in, we redirect the app to login page. If user was logged in already on loading screen, then we will simply redirect the user to the home page. These are two approaches, so it depends. There is no good or bad approach, so it's totally up to you which route you want to go. I have simply opened it, I have not done anything. So first thing we'll simply create a new folder, let's call it pages, and in this page, first thing, let's move this main page to this pages, and then create a login page. So we'll create a new item, .NET MAUI content page using XAML, and let's call it login page. Add the second, let's have a again new item, .NET MAUI, and let's call it loading page. So we have loading page, login page, we have this main page, and let's have one more. Let's say maybe let's have two more. Maybe one is profile page and one is some list page. Let's say listing page. So we can change these. So let's call it listing page, loading page, change the label to loading page so that we can see that we are on that particular page. And this is our login page. Then this is our main page, which have all these data. Then profile page. So let's call this profile page. Fine. Now we'll use uh, dependency injection for this, and we'll use shell navigation. So first thing, let's set the routes. So routing dot register route, and we'll simply use all those pages. We have first thing, we have main page, type of main page, and let's copy it a couple of times. Then we have this listing page, listing page. Then next one is loading page. Then we have login page. After that we have main page, which we already registered. So let's move it to down, and then profile page. Profile page. So let me copy the type as well. Main page, listing page, profile page, and fine. Routing is set. After that, let me create a new folder for our services. We are going to have a mock service here. So let's call it maybe auth service. Public class. And in this auth service, we'll simply have a method. Let's say public async task bool is authenticated async. So we'll check if the user is authenticated or not. So let's say for now return false. That means user is not authenticated. I have made it async task because in real scenario you would get this authentication state from somewhere. So maybe from, you could pass some data to some API, or maybe you can get it from uh, devices, shared preferences, or secure storage. So for all these we could have these async versions of the method. For now we will simply mock it. So we'll add manual delay. So let's say 2 seconds, and after 2 seconds it will return the actual authentication state. So let's register this. Let's add this dependency injection. So in builder.services. We could have it transient or scoped or singleton. It does not matter in this case. So let's add the namespace. Fine. And after that, I'm going to inject this service to the pages. So for that, let's register the pages as well. So first thing is loading page. Then we have this listing page. Maybe we don't need this in listing page, so we need this in loading page. And loading page, then we need this in let's say we'll check where do we need it. For loading screen, let's inject that auth service. And we will implement the logic in whenever we are navigated to this page. At that time, we will check the authentication state. So we'll use the async version, and now we'll check if auth service dot is authenticated async. If the user is authenticated, then let's add this await keyword here. So in this case, user is logged in, redirect to main page. And in this else case, user is not logged in. So we will redirect user to login page. So in order to redirect using shell navigation, we could use shell.current.go to async. And then we will simply use, if we do this login page, I will show you name of login page, fine, and then in this case, and both of these will be await statements, and from here we will redirect user to our main page. So our this logic is done. Now go to app shell, and on app shell we will simply add all these pages. So first thing, this is main page, so let me copy it a couple times. First, the initial page, first page, we are using loading page, right? So this local, let's add one more namespace for pages, so it will be dot pages. So it will be our loading page, not local, it would be pages dot, where is it? Loading page, pages is from, why is it not coming? Loading page, what is this? Loading page, we have this loading page, the namespace is also fine. Okay, let's see, loading page, and this would be same as page name because we have set our routes to these things only. Then second thing is, after loading we will have our login page, then we have our main page, let be it home only, and login is also from pages, then listing page, and after listing page we have our profile page, pages, and then profile page. So this is fine, but now we have simply set all these. The flyout behavior is disabled, but what if we need flyout behavior? So for now, let's enable this flyout behavior, and for now, let's check it. So app is here. Let me rerun it again so that you can see what happened. Yeah, now the app is loading. The first screen we will see, it is, come on, loading page, you see, and after that, after 2 seconds we are on login page, and you can see this back button. But in this scenario, this login page, it should be the first page, right? Ideally it should not show this thing that go back from login page to this loading page, because this loading page is kind of internal. We are simply checking the state of the user right now. So that page, we should not manually navigate to this page, this loading page. So for that, first thing we need to do, and on the that loading page we will change it. So on this loading page, this flyout option, this header, and there should be nothing. There should be simply a loading icon basically. So first thing, let's go to the loading page .xaml. We will come here, we will remove this label and let's design it. We will say horizontal options center, vertical options center, and then we will have a activity indicator control and it will be running always. So first thing, let's set the is running to true, because it should be always running. We are not observing the state for this running. So whenever this screen is there on the screen, mobile screen, then it should always be in running state, because it is checking the authentication state, and after that it will simply redirect to the login page or main page. So it will always be running, and then we will have a label. Let's call it checking authentication state, something like this. Now if we check it, we can see this thing, checking authentication state, and we have this. Now on this loading page, this should not be there, the loading page title. So for this title, we can simply say shell dot navbar is visible. We can set it to false. So if we go there, then we don't have that. So this thing is fine. Checking authentication state. From there, we will move to login page. The next thing is this login page. It should look like this is the first screen. So we should not have this back button here. So the thing here is, when we were redirecting it, let's go to loading page.xaml.cs. Now here, this thing, this shell routing. So if you are not familiar with shell routing, or you want me to create a dedicated video on shell routing, so maybe let me know in the comments. I will plan a dedicated video to shell routing to include all the aspects, to the stacked pages, pushing and popping states, making the hierarchy, relative routes, and all those, passing data from one page to another using the shell routing. So I can plan a video on that. In this case, whenever we add some route, it actually considers it as a kind of stack, navigation stack. So when we are saying this, so it is pushing this page to the navigation stack. That means this is the next page. That means there should be some previous page, that is this current page. So we can come back to this page from this new page where we are currently going. So it will show this back button. But in our case, login page and for main page, for both of these pages, we don't need that. So for that, we can use double slashes. So it will kind of directly, we could say, permanent redirection to this new page. This is like this. So let me rerun the app. So app is here, it's loading, and checking authentication state, and then we have this login page. And on login page, now we don't have that back button, but we have this flyout menu. So from this flyout menu, we can move to home page, listing page, profile page. But do we really want this? No, because in our app, in this particular app, this home, listing, profile, these pages are protected pages. So these should only be visible if the user is logged in. So for that, we need to disable this flyout option for this particular page. So for that we can come to shell, and on shell page we will see this login page, and on login page we can set shell dot flyout behavior. For this particular page we will set it disabled, so now we cannot see that thing. Let me rerun this app, or maybe for now let's have it like this only. So on login page we don't have this, so if we want to disable this we can disable on this particular page. Now all these pages, maybe we want all these pages in bottom tab bar, so we can simply have a tab bar and we will add these pages here. Let me rerun the app. Then we have login page, and we don't have anything here. So on login page let's add a button. So where is the login page? Login page is here. Let's add a button here. Button text, let's say login, and let's have a padding of 25 and item spacing of 25. Okay, and on this login button let's add a clicked event handler, and from this click event handler we will simply redirect user to shell.current.go-to-async. We will redirect user to main page. So main page, and like this. If we click this not found, rerun the app, checking state, login, and when we click this login page, then we have all these tabs: home, listing, profile, and we can see this is home page, this is listing page, this is profile page, and here we can see this loading and login. These are coming from the top level shell content. So whatever top level shell contents, those will be converted to flyout menu automatically. Now if we need to disable this, if we want to disable these, that they should not come inside this flyout menu. For that, what we can do, we can simply say shell dot flyout item visible. We can set it to false, and now if we see, we cannot see that login. And the same thing we can do for this one. Let's add both of these for the loading page, and now we are good. There is nothing, because all those pages are, we don't want to go, because that loading page, that is a kind of our internal logic page, and then login page we will go to login if we have logged out, and if the user is logged out basically. So these things are working now. And now next thing is, if we go to our auth service here, and instead of returning this false, if we return true, that means the user is authenticated. And let's rerun the app. Now it should show that loading screen, and after loading screen it should directly go to main page, checking authentication state, and then directly home page, because this time we set this true, so user is already logged in. So in this case, from this loading page, it will check authentication, user is logged in, so it will be redirected to the main page. Now we have this empty flyout menu. Let's fill this thing. So this tab bar tag, by default it simply converts all of the content of this tab bar as these individual tabs, but automatically it is not these items are not added to flyout. So in order to add these to flyout, we can have flyout display option as multiple items, single items. Let's use as multiple items. So now we can see these and this will work as expected. Now next thing is let's implement a logout functionality. So for logout functionality, before that let's stop it and let's implement some let's say login and logout. We were using this hard-coded true and false. We will not use this hard-coded value and we'll use actual value, some dynamic value. So we have this login and logout. And when we are logging in, we will simply use the preferences dot, we will set a boolean value and that will be our state. And when we are logging in, so we'll set it to true. Let's use this as a constant here, private string auth state key, and we'll use this auth state key here. And same thing when we are logging out, at that time we can log out this auth state key default. We will remove this key like this. So now we remove this. I'm using this preferences.default directly here. If you want to unit test this, so you might want to register the iPreference service and then you can inject this iPreference in its constructor and then you can use it. Okay, so to check authentication state after this delay, we will check. So we will get our auth state from preferences.default.get, and this is a boolean value and the key is our auth state key, and the default value, if the value is not set, we will return false. We will consider it as not authenticated. And now we will return this value, this auth state. So now we don't have this hard coded and we'll use this thing. And we are good with this auth service. Now next thing is implement this login and logout. So for login, if we go to login page, we will, on clicking on that login button, we were directly navigating to main page without setting that login. So before this, we will set login in our auth service. So for that, we need to inject our auth service, and let's add it. And here we will say auth service dot login. Fine, and now we have injected the auth service to login page, so we need to add this login page as well to our service registration. Now login, and for logging out, let's add a logout button on profile page. So after this label, we will set a button with the text logout and we will add a click handler to this. Okay, and we'll do the same thing we did for login page. So padding 25 and spacing 25. Now let's go to this, and here we will log out the user. So in order to log out, we need to inject our auth service here. So auth service, and in this we will say auth service dot logout, and then we will redirect user to login page. Shell.current.go to async, This will be our login page. Fine. So I think we are good. Let's run it one more time. Oh, I missed to register this profile page as well. Right, it will throw. Yeah, we need to register this as well. Stop profile page. Yeah, let's run it. App is here and it's checking state and it went to login. If we log in, now we are on home page and now we can see our listing page, profile page, and on profile we have this logout. For now, let's stop this app, open it. So we'll see that it will redirect us to home page because user is already logged in. Now go to profile, log out. We are on login page. Now again stop the app, open the app again, and now it will redirect us to login page because we logged out. And right. So everything is working fine now. So this is how you can implement login flow in .NET MAUI app. So please like this video if you like my content and share this video, comment on this video and subscribe my channel. And don't forget to press that bell icon to so that you can get the notification whenever I upload new videos. Okay, that's it for this video. So I'll be back with another video.